Hey guys, let's talk about What So Not. Today I'll be reviewing the newest EP by the duo of Emo Instead and Flume, What So Not. This one's called Gemini. And overall, this one absolutely surprised me. It released on Ozlaw just a couple days ago, and while I wasn't planning on really listening to this, once I heard Oddity, the closer on this EP, I knew I had to fully listen to it and further go to review it. What So Not is a trap project, and although Flume's been making future bass for a while, I've always been kind of interested to hear the kind of styles they could bring. As far as I know, this is the last EP Flume is going to be working on. He's already dropped out of the project, and Emo Instead has taken over the What So Not project, and overall this one's pretty friggin' good. They get acts like Dylan Francis on this, and it's very evident Flume's production styles are all very clear in this one, especially on tracks like Oddity, Gemini, and Death Drive. If he wasn't on the project and I'm wrong about that, then Emo Instead has done a fantastic job of recreating that sound. I'm not too into the trap sounds usually, but I think this one is really solid and definitely impressive compared to a lot of the releases I've heard this year. Like I said with Lax's Twitch EP, was one of the most interesting I've heard, but still used some pretty standard stuff. This one is the complete opposite. It's a little bit shorter, but uses some unique styles that I haven't heard probably ever before. The album kicks off with this kind of hip-hoppy Gemini intro, and although it doesn't flow perfectly into the title track Gemini, it's really fun to hear. Always been kind of interested in hearing those hip-hop intros, like on Lecrae's Gravity when he used the drop as his intro. I always think that's really interesting and cool to hear, so definitely a fun intro for this EP. A couple years ago, I saw Skrillex live, I think it was last fall, and What So Not had opened, Emo Instead anyway, not Flume. At the time, I didn't really enjoy the set. In fact, there were only a couple tracks in the entire set that I really liked. Most of the time I was just standing around because I wasn't too interested in the music that was going on. But if he would have dropped a lot of songs that were like this, I could have seen myself definitely jamming to this, and I would probably be excited to hear What So Not in a live setting again following this EP because it was so freaking good. Gemini just has these gorgeous vocals by George Maple. In a way, I could have maybe heard this EP released on Monster Cat because its styles are very similar to a lot of the electronic kind of slow tempo music we've heard this year. Arrows features Dylan Francis, and although I've been thinking Dylan Francis's music is fairly standard at this point with the direction he's been going with this mixtape is fire. If you remembered, I thought that one was pretty average. But with this one, it's very evident that he's maybe progressing in a new direction, and if I could hear more stuff like this from Dylan Francis, then I'd probably be more into him right now. Very evident blend of both of the artist mixes, and I think this one works very well. Death Drive is some kind of indie electronic or kind of bass house hybrid. Although I'm not absolutely in love with it, this one's just average at worst. And really none of this EP I don't think was really bad. I didn't dislike any part of this. There's not really any down points to this, and even though it is a little slower and chiller and more ambient at times, at no point would I call this EP bad. Now, like I said, Oddity is probably my favorite on this. It's the one that brought me to listen to the rest of this EP. In some places it's melodic, in some places it's noisy. It's just so interesting, and there's so many different sounds and things going on in this. There's absolutely no way I could dislike it. It's like they crafted it so that I would be able to find this EP because they know my ears so freaking well. But they don't, that's the thing. And the synthesizers on this one are all over the place. The percussion on this is super just interesting, and definitely the most unique on the EP. I really liked it. I'm thinking this one deserves a solid 8. It's really good. Arrows and Death Drive are pretty average, which is why my rating is so low. Otherwise, there's not really, like I said, a track that I disliked on this one, so it's really freaking good. I'm trying to be more critical, so I apologize if you're not going to see more 9.0s in the following year, and you probably won't even see a 10 again, at least for a couple of years. But I think this EP is pretty phenomenal for the most part, and definitely check it out. It's available for free download. I'm probably going to have to link this in the description. Landon, when you edit this, make sure to link the free EP download in the description. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below if you did listen to it. And anyway, I'll see you guys later. Peace.